guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about Lia Marie Johnson. Now I'm going to explain who this person is. So anytime Lia Marie Johnson popped up on my feed, it was always negative in the sense of people were worried about her, people were alleging that she was abusing drugs and alcohol. Every time it was something terrible, which in and of itself is alarming because it indicates that there's obviously a pattern there. But before we get into all of this, let me just preface and explain who Lia Marie Johnson is. So she's an American actress and internet personality known for appearing in various web series, including the Emmy-winning web series Kids React, and for her own vlogging and social media output. She's 23 years old as of right now. On Instagram, she has 1.3 million followers, so she has quite a following. She is signed with Capitol Records, and one thing I need to make very clear, because it is a factor later on, is, as I said, she was in the web series Kids React, indicating that when she got a lot of attention, she was, I believe, 14. So she was getting attention being very young. We all know that the fucking weirdos of the internet will objectify young children. In fact, there's a subreddit, and I'm gonna link it. I don't really want to show too much from it because that subreddit, I thought it was gonna be like a fan subreddit or like a hater subreddit. I don't think there's anything in between, honestly. But this subreddit is far more perverse and creepy because there would be close-ups of like her wearing a shirt, and it's not see-through or anything, but you would see like her curves more, or her nipple would be like, you could see the outline or something that's just human. Like humans have nipples, okay? Congratulations for your discovery. But they would turn it into this creepy ass kind of voyeur thing where they're looking into a window, but the person who's being looked at didn't really consent to be looked at like that. Does that make sense? And let's remember, right now she's 23. On that fucking disgusting subreddit, there are people being like, oh, look at young Lia Marie Johnson, and they'll post like all these pictures of her in bikinis, and the way in which they frame how they're looking at the pictures is what concerns me. Does that make sense? So if it were just a fan page posting, oh, Lia looks so great here, fine, whatever. It's different when it's like people being like, oh, she looked so sexy when she was at this inappropriate age. That being said, a big reason why people are concerned about her is that she'll often do Instagram lives and act in a very erratic fashion. Now, one thing I want to say is I do not like diagnosing someone with anything. So here I'm not diagnosing her with any mental illness or whatever, but I don't like just saying, oh, this person's clearly on drugs or this person's clearly an alcoholic, whatever. What I am gonna say is that I don't think she is in a stable state. I think she is somehow impaired, whether it's drugs, alcohol, all of those, I don't know. But clearly something is up. What that is, I cannot confirm, but a lot of people think it's drug use.
There's a lady that comes by every day, and she's never even told me her name. And she just walks by, she doesn't have a name, and she just walks by into her home, and she doesn't even know my name. People are so mean. You shouldn't try to understand any human. No human is worth understanding nowadays. I'm just kidding. Humans are definitely worth understanding, but Jesus Christ, they are just so ugly.
Asking if you're on drugs, it looks like.
No, I'm not on, I wish I was on drugs, but I'm not, unfortunately. I wish that I was on hardcore drugs. I wouldn't even be able to use this cell phone as if it was like a soft piece of bread, the crust of a soft sourdough. My phone is resting along a chessboard. I'm just trying to make sure that I wake up tomorrow with enough fucking water in my system to breathe. So, no, I'm not doing too many drugs tonight.
So you sure you haven't had any weed today?
No, I smoked a lot of weed today. Yeah, I smoked a lot of weed. Oh, I have to keep going on other drugs. Because we can keep going on many different things, right? I took both of it. Oh God, I can't believe I did that shit. That's all. Cheers. There was a young girl and she liked to drink beer. And she did that. She drank beer her entire life and that's all that ever happened with her. Congratulations to that girl. She really did well. Thank you to that girl who really did well in her life. Drank all the beer. Thank you. Good night. Good night. End of story. I commit suicide all of a sudden. JK. That's not funny. Suicide is not funny. Beer is so weak. You're so right. And committing suicide on your wrists is stupid.
If you haven't been watching me for a long time, you won't know that I actually used to have a drug problem. I used to be a cokehead. So when I see her, it's not in judgment, it's more of like, I really hope you're not into what I think you might be into, and if you are, please get help, because people OD. I know I did, and sometimes you don't wake up from that shit, and that's what I'm afraid of here. But aside from that, since the story isn't tragic or disgusting enough, she posted an Instagram live with, allegedly, producer, and as you can tell, he's significantly older than her, and I have no problem most of the time with age gap relationships, so long as it's not fetishized as in someone likes being with the other person because they're so young rather than because they love them. So I do think age gap relationships are complicated. Lia Marie Johnson is a 23-year-old woman. She can make her own decisions. That being said, if you are impaired because of drugs, alcohol, whatever else, consent isn't there. And on top of that, it's a lot easier for someone to take advantage of you. There's already a power dynamic between a producer and the talent, let alone if you're in some kind of relationship, let alone if they maybe know some private information about you that they could use against you or release. I'm not saying there's blackmail. I'm just saying these are examples of how the dynamic is not necessarily balanced to begin with. As of right now, Stephen Weatherby, it's something weird, he has taken down his Instagram and his website, which is very clearly what an innocent person would do, is it not? In the Instagram live, there was some kind of effect put on, and you can't really see his face, but you can hear his voice, allegedly, if it's him.
No one can save me though.
Where are you at?
Where are you at? Are you on Instagram?
Totally.
No, you're not.
Totally.
You can't be on Instagram. Are you on Instagram? Are you really on Instagram? You can't be posting.
No, you're right.
That would be bad. Are you on Instagram? Leah, are you on Instagram?
No.
Huh?
No.
Well, what is this? With all the
Nothing.
flames going. No, tell me
No,
the truth.
that's
What
just
is
a
it?
live.
It's what?
That's a lie. That's not even an Instagram.
What is it? Live stream?
No.
What is it? Tell me the truth. What are you on? Now, we're going back to us. I'm hijacking your phone for...
That being said, I found an interview with him from years ago, and first of all, years ago, he already looks old for her, and like I said, not all age gap relationships are bad, but in this particular situation, I don't feel good about it. But I compared his voice, and it sounds pretty similar. I'm gonna play the clips back to back just so you can hear his voice in the Instagram live, then the interview, and you can make up your own mind.
I'm hijacking your phone for... And I started taking pictures of kids riding ponies for their birthday. I'm hijacking your phone for...
The fact that he's taken down his social media, sketchy as fuck, but also in the Instagram live, he said something along the lines of, and I'll play it, "Please don't post this. This could affect my career."
Okay, what?
Okay.
Okay. You know what? Fuck all of you. Do not send the fucking police for my fucking address. No.
Leah.
These people are so right here are the ones that are most fucked up.
Leah, I need this not to go out because it affects my work. Please.
There is nothing to me that sounds more damning than saying, don't post this, this could fuck me up. Because of course there's some things you don't want to post because it's private. You know, like there's private stuff about myself that I don't want to post because it's private. But that's not to say that it's perverse or inappropriate, but here that's kind of the implication of, if this is going to affect my job negatively, clearly there's something that people would not be too happy about. And I don't think it would be because people are judgmental about age gap relationships as much as people would see, hey, maybe she's not in the right mindset to make these decisions. And it's not maybe, it doesn't seem like she is at all. There's just a whole series of things along with how he was grabbing her in that video. I felt very uncomfortable watching it, frankly. Now, the update is that the police showed up. Now, there isn't much detail about what happened when the police showed up, what they found, what's going on. Of course, it's still early, but here there's an article that says, Lia Marie Johnson has confirmed that police arrived and detained her on January 2nd after her producer, quote unquote, hijacked her Instagram live broadcast. Johnson is best known from her time on the Fine Bros React series and has since grown her own fan base on YouTube and social media. In a previous live stream on December 24th, Johnson was emotional and caused some fans distress. Despite concerns, she reassured viewers that she wasn't on drugs, but that her behavior stemmed from her interesting mindset. She then went quiet over the holiday period, re-emerging after the new year for a live stream on January 2nd, but it did little to quell fans' concerns as the stream ended abruptly at the hands of her producer. Johnson, clearly intoxicated, can be seen kissing the man just out of frame at around 15 minutes onto the live stream as music plays loudly and thousands of viewers watch on. Moments later, the man believed to be the photographer-producer, Stephen Weatherby, can be heard asking, "Are you on Instagram?" "No, you're not. You can't be on Instagram." "Are you really on Instagram? Because that would be bad." As Lia doesn't respond, the man asks again, "Were you on Instagram?" "Lia, were you on Instagram?" Lia then responds, "No," to which he asks, "Then what is this? Tell me the truth. What is this?" This just does not sound healthy, does not sound appropriate, and I really hope the police take this seriously and there's some kind of follow-up, or they do some kind of checks on her to make sure she's actually not on drugs or okay, or whatever the case may be, to make sure that she's healthy. But I definitely find it very concerning. It's not just because it's happening now, but rather because every so often there's a new pop-up of like, something's wrong. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of all this. If you have your own theories, feel free to share down below. Please, let's not do any kind of drug shaming BS. Just think we should focus on her getting help. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.